Welcome to another writing video log. This is for May of 2021. And now today, of course, is Friday, April 30th, because I figured, why not start early? After a difficult month of March and April, both health-wise and schedule-wise, I'm finally at a point where things are starting to look up a little bit. Now, I've gotten packaged 50 or 60? 60. Okay. I've gotten packaged about 70 short story booklets for my vendor and craft sale, and I have about another 50 more to go. I better get my button gear. I got a second round of edits back from another peer editing friend of my Nerdalific auto budget, so I got to jump on that and finish it up. I haven't even opened it because honestly I'm a little bit afraid to open it. This person, of course, is very reliable, but again, I know that this person is also very honest. I managed to get a couple of live streams out lately. On Sundays, the writing sprints, I wasn't able to do that for pretty much all of March. So it felt really good to get out there with my friend Story Tyrant and, of course, our other friends that join us in the writing session. I also managed to record my podcast today, which is going to be released for May the 4th, which is super cool that my podcast is airing on Star Wars Day. So I did a Star Wars writing prompt. So if you haven't listened to it yet, it also gets aired on my YouTube channel. So you can find it in my playlist called Tania's Writing Realm Podcast. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It is in my podcast playlist. I also got some new answers for my health condition recently, and there's a Living Undiagnosed video that was released. Basically, I'm on some pills that might actually help reduce these episodes. I'm hoping. I've got high hopes, and I hate getting my hopes up because I normally end up getting them crashed and burned. However, I'm still going to try to hope a little bit. So with this new pill, I should have a little bit more energy and drive, which means I might be able to get some more writing accomplished this month. So here's a couple of my writing goals for the month of May. 1, get a little bit more organized, which includes printing off a calendar and making some notes as to what I need to release when in terms of videos and podcast episodes. And also going to write down some writing meetings. Now, I've been invited by a great friend, Self-Publishing with Dale, to begin a monthly writing meeting, like a Zoom session. So every first Saturday of every month, I'm going to be joining him on a Zoom session. Now, this isn't something that's going to be aired or live. It's just going to be a private Zoom session where we can talk. So I'm excited about this. It's this Saturday is the first one. I've never actually had a real, face-to-face conversation with Dale, so this is great. We've been emailing each other back and forth, and I support his channel. I watch all of his videos. I comment on most of them. I've listened to his podcast a little bit. I've also done a review of one of his books, and I have another book review to do yet. Again, my health hasn't been well enough for me to be able to do everything that I need to do. So that is going to be part of my organizational part. So that's 2 things. 1, organization. 2, start this meeting. 3, I really want to try to start making it to my Saturday night write session again, because again, I had to miss so many because of my health and schedule. And 4, I want to do a couple more live streams. I think it's really important to keep the live streams going because honestly, that's one of the only times I get words on paper, virtual paper. You know what I mean. For the month of April, there's 2 things that I'm happy about. 1 is I did finally get through this whole process planning for my booklet making. And 2, I also did the video. I did a video of how to make a booklet, including the word formatting and the printing process and selecting the printers and getting the right paper. It was a lot of work to make that video, a lot of time, but I'm very proud of how it turned out. Could it have been better? Possibly, but I'm waiting to see what everybody else thinks of it. In terms of actual writing itself, during the live streams, I am working on rewriting my very first Elganthus high fantasy novel. So I have this entire world of Elganthus. I've talked about it before in some of my other videos. It's got elves, dragons, magic, dwarves, some other creatures that have never been, in any other story before. They're new. I made them up. So I've already written a number of novels in rough draft in this world, But again, my writing style has changed and I've decided to put it all aside as reference and start fresh with my current ability. And I really want to get a novel written. Now, in addition to that, I also started writing another red crime thriller story. Now this, I haven't actually told anybody about other than the people during the live stream. This is called Red Rain, and it is about this character named Rain and what happens after the first 5 short stories. Now, I don't know how long this is going to be, and I'm not going to put pressure on myself to actually set a length in advance. I am going to wing it because I love pantsing, and the entire crime thriller series was actually pantsed except for Red Secrets, because it kind of tied 4 stories together and you know, connected all the characters and had some little hidden secrets and plot you know, changes and stuff that I just kind of merged together. So Red Rain is kind of, I'm considering this like a fresh start in the series. It's not going to be completely connected other than, you know, it's kind of like a continuation storyline from the end of Red Secrets, but it's not something that, you know, you have to read all of these before you read Red Rain. Anyways, I'm kind of excited about this because I enjoy writing in this series. So I'm working on a lot at the same time again. I've got the first Rose of Elganthus, which is novel 1. And I have the Red Rain, which is technically story 6 in the Red Crime Thriller series. And then I've got my Nerdalific auto budget. I have booklet making. I have 2 different kinds of writing meetings to go to. I have live streams and a podcast to stay on top of, plus any other YouTube videos that I'm doing. Ooh, yes, and I also was contacted by this wonderful company who is advertising a contest. We're kind of doing like a little swapperoo, and I'm going to be doing a video about their contest. So that is one of my priorities within the next, you know, week or 2. I have to get that ready. So let's see if I can get all of this accomplished. May 2021 is going to be crazy. Did I mention there's also Mother's Day in between there somewhere? Yes, so we must plan Mother's Day. Now the other thing is everything is in lockdown again. Manitoba is in lockdown. So we are not allowed to go to anybody else's homes or have anybody on our properties or in our homes. And all of the stores' capacities have been reduced. Some schools in the province have gone on remote learning. Luckily, our kids are not. They are still going to school, and I'm okay with this because our area seems to be fairly safe at the moment. Knock on wood. It allows me to work a little bit easier when the kids aren't home also needing to do their schoolwork at the same time. I'm out of breath. I said a lot. I'm sorry. I hope it didn't bore you. See you soon. Today is Friday, May 7th, and I'm a little behind on getting this video log going, so yes, let's try this. So one of the things that has been bothering me when I'm recording my YouTube videos is the fact that I don't really have a decent background for my videos. So one of my goals is to revamp my background area. Normally I'm either on my couch or I'm sitting at my desk and I'm recording with my webcam. And I'm having some technical issues with my recording software in that the voice is not lining up with the video when it records. So I'm continuously having to split the audio and then drag it over on the bar to where it should actually be. I haven't been able to resolve this issue yet, so I decided, well, it works a lot better on my phone anyways, so why don't I just work on revamping my background image somewhere else in my house so that I can actually record on my phone without having to worry about having a crappy background. So yes, this is one of my background options, is obviously a bookshelf. Now the bookshelf is not exactly in good standing order. It's very messy, lots of unread books because I don't have time to read. So this is one option. I'm going to show you my other option. So behind me is kind of like our old wall unit with our tube TV. This is where I also hang my laundry, and this is my future writing office. So what I would like to do is take all of this area, because I love how it's like got 3 levels, and I want to take everything off of here and set up my castle that has all of my dragons on it. And that way I've kind of got like this cool thing happening. I can turn off the lights, get some candles going, and kind of, you know, get a different mood going in the background. So I feel like this is going to take a long time to do, but I'll set up like a little time-lapse video for you so you can kind of see me doing some of the work. All right, so I'm going to take a little break, and then I'm going to come back and set my castle up. Stay tuned. Let's test this out. Okay, so obviously I'm going to have to play with the lighting a little bit, but generally speaking, I want to have kind of the whole dragon thing happening, the castle with the light in the background. The light in the room on its own is far too bright, so let's just see what that looks like. So you can't tell that the candles are in the background now, but you can see me better, so I kind of have to play with this a little bit more and kind of get the lighting set. Well, maybe I can get rid of those old burnt discs and stuff. Put some books in there instead. I'm totally open to any tips you have, but I'm going to play with this some more. See what else I can do. Maybe I'll put my picture back there. Right, so it didn't work. The poster's too big to fit there unless I actually put like some nails or something in the wall. So I'm going to have to, you know, get my hubby involved here and get something in the wall so I can actually hang this up. You might not want to ruin the drywall though, because we're still planning to like paint in here and he'd probably have to fill some cracks. So my plan didn't work exactly as planned. I really hate the line in the wall with the drywall. And it's not going to look so great on the videos, but it's a start. So I'm back to this bookshelf. Now, I think all I'd have to do to straighten this up is literally just organize the books, and it shouldn't take me too long. I found a hidden gem. My childhood pony. Alright, so at least, the very worst, I've gotten my books looking a little bit better. Maybe I can do something else to dress up the shelves before I record. But otherwise, I think it's a lot better than what it was. At least it looks more like a bookshelf and I can kind of stand in front of it to talk. 2 projects, half-assed done today. I know I could do a lot better, but at least I've gotten a good jump start on it. And I have a couple of videos coming up that I need to record that I want a decent background for. They're very important videos to me, so we'll see you soon. Hey, today is Sunday, May 16th. I have a lot going on, so bear with me while I unload. This morning I got off of a live stream with Story Tyrant. We had a lot of great people with us. We talked about sentence structure and all kinds of things during our chat sessions in between the sprints. Now, I managed to get through my nerdolific auto budget editing, and I mailed it off or emailed it off to my editor. So I was pretty excited about that. Now, I also went in and designed the ebook cover, and I've sent it out to a couple of writing friends to get their opinion to see what they think of it. So hopefully very soon this ebook is going to be released. So second thing I worked on this morning was redesigning my website. Now, my website was looking a little gray and boring, and I decided that I need to start branding myself or selecting some sort of a theme to represent me. So I went through and I picked out a beautiful castle picture, and I went through and updated my website theme, and I've changed everything. Now, I've got more work to do on it, but as being somebody that is not technically trained to modify websites, I'm learning as I go. I taught myself how to embed my YouTube videos. So what I've done is I've created a separate writing page specific for Tania's Writing Realm, which will talk about my YouTube channel and my podcast. Now, about the podcast, I'm trying to find a way to embed the player, and I have not figured out how to do it yet. I need to spend some more time and learn how to get my podcast player embedded on my WordPress site, and I believe I might need like a plugin to do it. So I'm still learning that part of it. Now, earlier in this video log, you probably saw me working like a crazy person trying to get a new YouTube video background set up. However, I have decided to scrap all of it. My office is not quite set up and ready for filming in yet, so I decided, why put the time and effort into it when I'm not going to be happy with it? Then I looked at the bookshelf background, but the bookshelf background, I have to be standing up to do it. With my health condition, standing for a long period of time makes me very winded, and I kind of start gasping for air and needing more water because my blood pressure tends to get low very quickly. So then I end up having to stop constantly and drink, and so I have to stop doing that. I need to be able to sit down. So keeping in line with my new castle type theme, like Scotland type castles, I am going to also order this canvas print of a castle type design. I haven't completely designed it yet, and I'm going to have it behind me in the videos, and I'm going to put Tania's Writing Realm on it somewhere somehow. I got the idea from watching Self-Publishing with Dale. I was watching his live stream over Instagram, and he was showing every little piece of his background and explaining how he got it, and everything has meaning to him. And I thought it was such a great idea. So why not start with one big castle behind me? So I'm going to look at getting this printed off. I don't know when. I've got a lot going on, so maybe within the next couple weeks to month. I don't give myself a lot of deadlines. So that's in my plan. Now, the bad news that I got recently was due to the new and updated pandemic restrictions in our area, the vendor market that I had scheduled has been canceled. So therefore, my very first ever author table has been canceled. But all the effort and the work that I put into making these booklets will pay itself off, because they also have an outdoor market starting in June. It runs from June through September. So I have applied for 4 dates, 2 in June and 2 in July. I don't know if I get all the dates. I really only wanted one to try it out, but I didn't want to just pick one date, be declined, and then not being able to apply again. So I put myself up for 4 different dates a couple weeks apart, and I'm hoping to at least get one of those dates. If I get all 4, I'll be paying more money than I had anticipated, but it does give me the opportunity to find some more readers that are local. So although this was canceled and I'm not going to be able to sell all my books on the date that I expected, I've already gotten about 5 or 6 people asking to order every single one of my booklets. Now, most of these people are nearby, but I also had a family member reach out to me from a different province asking if I could ship it to them. Initially, this wasn't in my plan to make and ship booklets by order because that's too much printing on me. But being in a family member and also the fact that I already have them printed and they're just sitting here and I'm not taking them to the market yet, I have more than enough time to replace the printouts. So I'm going to go this week to the post office and figuring out the best and most affordable shipping method and packaging so that I'm not charging them a whole lot for shipping. I'm not going to go above and beyond. I want to keep it down to a reasonable cost, but protecting the booklets at the same time. So if you've ever shipped booklets or books or novels or whatever, let me know what you think for the best packaging method. So my plan for today, as I have to get my podcast episode recorded, I've had it planned out for a couple days and now I just have to put that time into sitting down and recording it. The recording part only takes maybe 20 minutes and then I spend half an hour or so editing it. So really in all, each podcast episode from the planning stage through editing is only about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes tops, which is actually pretty reasonable. My other goal this week is to get more organized. I have lists upon lists posted all over this bulletin board connected to my desk. One for each category, like one for YouTube, one for podcast, one for writing, all of that. And it's all separated. But what I want to do is print off these free calendars that I can sit down and write down what day I want things released by or what video I want to do for when, so that I know what I need to work on first or next. Now, I can't set aside specific times on specific days or whatever to do each thing because of my condition. So I have to give myself whatever extra time I need to schedule it in as the time comes up. So say, hey, I'm feeling good today. Let's go to my calendar and my checklist and see what I need to do now. Most cases, I'm not able to do much during the week. I do have a full-time job and 2 days a week I commute for work in the city, and on the other 3 days I work from home. So sometimes on the work from home days, I'm still feeling decent enough in the evening to do a little bit. But doing things like recording videos and editing videos and stuff needs to be done on the weekend. Right, so I have a lot going on. So to summarize, website building, background for YouTube creation, Nerdalific auto budget, finishing it and publishing it, figuring out the shipping of the booklet printing, the application for the summer outdoor vendor markets. What else did I say? My podcast recording, my organizational skills. I kind of feel like I've put a lot on myself recently, but it's all important to me and I'm kind of excited about it all at the same time. But the key to all of this and to accomplishing everything that I want to accomplish is to be organized. And so I'm going to get those calendars up. I am going to make lists. I am going to make a plan, not by date and by schedule, but by release dates so that I know what I need to do when. That is my plan. So I'll probably do one more section to this video to let you know how all of this has gone. So wish me luck. Hey, today is Tuesday, May 25th, and I have some good news. I've been a little bit more productive in these past few days. I managed to actually completely finish editing and formatting and self-published my Nerdalific Auto Budget ebook. Yay! I also formatted it for the booklet printing and I printed off 20 copies. So in total, I have officially printed 160 booklets. I have about 25 more to actually package, like actually staple, and another 5 to 10 that are needing to be folded and then stapled. So by the time I'm done this, it'll be 160 booklets completely handmade. So if you're interested, feel free to check out the Nerdalific Auto Budget ebook. It is, well, I publish wide, so you can pretty much find it Kobo, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, well, lots of places. So yes, feel free to check that out because I know you want to. Aside from that, I kind of feel like a weight has been lifted with completing that project that I've been working on off and on for like 10 or 12 years. So now that that's off my plate, I can move on to the more enjoyable part of the writing process, actually writing. I have so many projects on the go. I am just going to wing it and write whatever feels right for me. I'm going to write what feels right. So currently I have to choose from Red Rain, The First Rose of Elganthus, which is novel 1 in the Elganthus world. And then I also have like three other stories that's been percolating that I had started before. I'm not going to go too much into detail on those now. I don't have any, specific names for them, and I'm not entirely sure where they're going yet, but they're kind of percolating in the back of my brain, and I'm kind of excited about them. So here's to winging it and pantsing it and just going with the flow, and whatever comes to mind, and I will continue to write as I feel I can actually write. I also went to Staples. I picked up the ink that I needed to finish the covers that I was missing, and I also got the bubble envelope package for shipping the booklets off to my relative. So that's done. I can't remember everything else that was on my list. I haven't worked on getting the podcast player on my website yet. I think that's a weekend project. Too much to do during the week. I didn't quite get it done on this weekend. We had a lot of stuff to do at home. I also have not yet designed and ordered that canvas backing yet, but I did buy some picture frames so that I can get each one of my booklets framed, because it's the first ever physical book I've ever printed that is just something that I've published and printed and handmade. So my husband suggested that I get some, affordable picture frames and put them in there. So I could even use that for my background for a while. So I'm going to play with that and see how that goes. Hopefully they fit in the frames that I bought. So June goals. Well, you pretty much have heard most of my goals. I have a lot still that I'm working on. So I'm going to keep pushing forward with that. I've also started to study my YouTube analytics a little bit more. I really want to make sure that I'm providing content that makes the viewers, stick around and enjoy it. So hopefully you've enjoyed what I've put out. And if you have a favorite type of content that I've created, let me know. I've also been toying with the idea of bringing back my alternate personality with the filters, just to see how that goes over, because I feel like it would add a little bit more entertainment value. Sometimes I'm just kind of sitting here and talking to the camera, and I know for myself, sometimes that can be boring for people depending on the person. I don't want to be boring, and I don't want to just sit here and talk. I want to have some sort of entertainment value for my viewers, so hopefully I can come up with, a fun way to do that. It might be using filters and my alternate personality, or maybe I'll just dress up. But yes, I'm feeling very tired, and I need to wrap up this video log so that I have time to edit it before Saturday, because I literally have 3 days to edit it and get it out. So wish me luck. Have a great rest of your day, afternoon, evening, night, or whatever, and we'll see you soon.